We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Today, after a topsy-turvy opening weekend, it's on to week 2.
Yeah. If I did it, then I did it right. Yeah. This ain't happened for me overnight. Yeah. Bet against me, you gon' pay the price. Yeah. Down to business, I ain't playing nice. Yeah. So ahead of y'all, I'm out of sight. Yeah. When you pop it, they all wanna slice. Yeah. Breed and envy, that's a part of life. Yeah. Mediocre, that just won't suffice. Better now than ever. Ain't no cracking under pressure.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Today, after a topsy-turvy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here, as it'll be the Washington Commanders taking on the Denver Broncos. Two teams here fresh off week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. With a play fake, and now here's how to throw it. Going to be caught downfield by Dotson. He's still on his feet. He's got room at the 30. And all the way down to the 25-yard line. A huge play there right off the bat. 42 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
That burst good for 20 and a first down.
That's a very nice game there. Confidence-building run. Love the execution up front, and the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. They'll run with Gibson. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense, because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
Gibson is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. They do it on the ground.
And not only is the person lugging the ball happy, of course, because he got it into the end zone. How about the offensive linemen and receivers who are blocking for him? They have to feel great about themselves, sticking it in the end zone on a running play.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. Wilson and the Broncos now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They run with a veteran speedster. It's Kareem Hunt. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. How about Jonathan Allen there pushing upfield to make the stop behind the line?
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
From the shotgun, Wilson. On the out route, he's got Mostert. Finding space at the 40. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
That turned into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right. And after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
Now their 31-year-old running back, Raheem Mostert. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And that tackle by Trayvon Walker. Nice play. He blows that up behind the line of scrimmage. The Broncos at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they've gotten a pretty good deal from the schedule makers as well. Home dates in Weeks 1 and 2.
And I would believe that they would need to take advantage of that, partner, because as you can imagine, the road dates will pile up later this season. So this is a great opportunity for them to put some early distance on the rest of the division and create a little bit of a cushion for them for later in the year.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Well, this defense for the Commanders is terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Now it's Wilson. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings this one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. I tell you what, credit is due there on them preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick six? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
Still a great return and very good field position. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or two in this situation.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Powell ran it last time. Now he's going to throw it. This will be caught at about the 6. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it with Gibson. And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Well, if this defense can hold them to a field goal here, what a win that would be.
Not just a win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game. This started with 1st and goal, so they were in 4-down territory right from the beginning. I say you finish it off and go for the touchdown.
Sly able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So golden field position there squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a 1st and goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They go play action with Wilson. Sliding out of the pocket. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Emmanuel Forbes. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection. And now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. On the counter, Gibson. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Commanders. Antonio Gibson, his second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Commanders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in this first quarter, and he's got both of them.
Well, he's certainly setting himself up for a big game here, and I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, they should keep riding him the entire way of this game. Until the defense proves they can stop him, that's what I would call.
The extra point by Sly is up and good, and that makes our score 17-0. So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our score as they kick this one away. Now this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Wilson. That's complete. It's Okuwebunam. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way because this first quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction.
17-0 our score after 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They go play action now. Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Emmanuel Forbes. And the Commanders are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you're throwing this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
57 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays. Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. And Howe will throw it to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Straight ahead, Gibson. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had the incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Howe throwing on third down here. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
Throwing here, Howell. Flush to his right. And he's in. Touchdown, Commanders. Sam Howell, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Commanders are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
That's a really good decision. He was looking and looking, nothing there. You can almost feel the brainwaves firing as he calculates, I think I can win a race to the pylon. And he turns out to be right. Touchdown.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
He'll get that complete to Alberto. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Now Wilson on first down. He's going to drop this underneath to Mostert, and he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Now, that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd and short.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Again, Wilson. Getting this out to the flat, Mostert. He's got room at the 30, and he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Hey, 0, 0, 0. All go special. All go special.
Now Wilson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Here's Wilson to throw. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Raheem Mostert, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Broncos are able to cut into that deficit. Now, the scoreboard still does not look good, but at least they polished off that goose egg.
Yeah, they've been thoroughly outplayed in the first half. Finally, a little spark of life, but it's going to take a lot more to add to that flame for them to thoroughly get back into this one.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make it 24-7. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And not a good return here at all, as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action. Now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
On second down, here's Gibson again. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Powell. And he finds McLaurin. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
Shotgun handoff to Gibson. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 110 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
They'll go play action. Powell slings this deep from McLaurin. That's caught at the 25. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, 63 yards. And the Commanders will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his second season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And with a 3-score deficit staring him in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Across midfield, he's on his way. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
A give up the middle to Gibson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. It was DJ Jones who was there for the tackle. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As now we send you out to Orlando.
These two
and hook
coaching
back up
staffs
with
likely
Jonathan
going through their
Coachman
final
for our EA
adjustments
Sports
for the second half.
halftime report.
One of these teams is going to emerge 2-0. But who will it be? To find out, let's go back to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. And this will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. Another modest gain there on that one. And I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it, but...
And oh, my goodness, here's a 5th interception. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
Partner, I see you reaching for the white flag. Put it down. I don't want you throwing it, but I understand why. Because if you do, you're hoping they might actually stop this game because we're in blowout territory right now. That interception just surrendered any momentum they built up in the locker room during halftime. So, game plan, it's in the garbage. Time to try something new in this one.
A give running right, Gibson. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. 134 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. On 1st down, right back to Gibson. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It's a first down for Washington on a pickup of 11. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
On first down, Howell. Throw to the right here, taken in by McLaurin. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Commanders have opened the lead up to 30. I tell you what, Charles, I know that you don't put a ton of stock into power rankings and things of that nature, but another score here, and 2 weeks into the season, this is maybe the most impressive team in the NFL. Would you agree?
Well, they've certainly sold me as they've sold you, and I agree with you. No question about it. They won easily last week. They're on their way to another lopsided victory here. They're definitely a team to be reckoned with, and they are serving notice to the rest of the league.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying?
And now here is another interception. And the Commanders are going to take possession here at their own 33. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there, and they'll go backwards right away. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Back to throw. Howell. He'll complete this one. Okakro on the move past the 40. And finally down at the 32-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 30 yards. And you get the sense, as I'm sure they got the sense, they might have picked up a good one here, maybe a little diamond in the rough via trade.
Maybe just need a change in scenery, a new city, maybe different motivation, but they believe they've got a good one.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. A handoff for Gibson. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 162 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. They'll go again with Gibson. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. DJ Jones, former 49er, there on the stop. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Just a little too lackadaisical, Charles, and they didn't get up and snap the ball in time. Delay of game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he understood where the clock was located. In different stadiums, it's in different places. You have to check that in pregame and make sure you're aware so you don't run into penalties like these.
He's got it. Touchdown, Commanders. Curtis Samuel, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Commanders extend their lead yet again. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, second year in the NFL. And I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
No surprise there. Chase Young wrecks that play with a sack. It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack. Hunt will try going up the middle, and he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down, 3 yards in the wrong direction. The Broncos send out their punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. Taken from just outside the 30. A nice return that time of about 14 yards. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, that's a good piece of quarterbacking right there because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Here's Howell. Slings this deep for McLaurin. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown. Terry McLaurin, his 3rd touchdown of the season, all coming in this game. And the Commanders get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Sly on for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
A third down now, and those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they will rally and stop him short of the first down. They get him to the ground at the 26. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that's going to make it fourth down. The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. This is taken at the 18. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
On second down, here's Gibson again. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. And quickly, they get to the line. Powell to the air on 1st and 10. Eluding the pressure right. And the Broncos get there and take him down. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Now here's a throw that's complete. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 42. Here's a give to Gibson. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Well, the offense has had a big day. He's been great running the football, but I don't think anybody liked that last result.
No, they didn't like the last result at all, but they have to look at it in total, don't they? They've had a big day running the football. You take an occasional loss or an occasional bad play along the way, but all in all, they have to like what they've done.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. They'll run. It's Gibson. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
One more time with Gibson. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. Howell, 3rd and goal. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. But he wasn't really big on that. He was big on going ahead and scoring. He's kind of reincarnated right here. We're watching it in front of us.
Sly able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on 1st down quickly negated. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Well, this game, it was well in hand early, never really in doubt. Charles, you and I do so many games together. There's so much parity in the NFL, a lot of close battles. This was not one. Tip your cap to them for a really impressive effort.
Yeah, and you know, as the game went on, I think the defense kind of got together and said, you see our guys on offense, they're just putting up point after point. We need to leave our mark somehow, too, and they did it, pitching a second-half shutout.
So for Washington, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Denver, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins.